should have everything ready to go. MbL versus Jordan 23 coming up next. The map going to be Graveyards, which is, again, another map which we have not seen so far this tournament. This is an interesting map, actually. I played this a couple of times on my stream, and we'll talk about it when we get into it, I guess. But if you're ready, Ham, we can go ahead and get this one going.
I am ready.
Okay, perfect. I'll count us down in 3, 2, 1, go. And here we are, everyone. Welcome to MbL versus Jordan 23, our final upper bracket round 1 game for the Escape Gaming Masters Regicide edition. Who will go on? Who will drop down to the lower bracket? We'll find out after this match in this best of 1. Ham, I'll let you do the honors of introducing the players and telling us what's going on here.
All right, well, welcome back everyone to Escape Gaming Masters Regicide Edition. Hope you're all doing well. And here we are on a new map. And look at this. Oh boy, there is death everywhere right now. MbL saying this is too fast for me. Yes.
Yes, the sarcasm is real. Oh dear.
So we've got Jordan in his far left, east side of the map as Portuguese, and MbL in the very far west side of the map, obviously as Portuguese too. Mirror match, and it looks really interesting. It kind of reminds me of Arabia, but with a lot of dead bodies.
Yeah, it's Graveyards. There's a lot of graveyards. What can I say? I guess it's kind of annoying because these buildings, these rubble, I guess, they're actually old Age of Empires 1 buildings. You know this. This is the Age of Empires 1. Is it like the barracks or something? It's the same asset from Age of Empires 1.
Yeah.
But it's now dilapidated and crumbling and aging, as we obviously have progressed many hundreds of years from the Age of Empires 1 time frame. But they are blocking these resources, and these players wish that Age of Empires 1 didn't exist at this point, because they can't get on their gold now. God damn it. But yeah, there's a lot of the tree, like trees blocking as well, making it kind of awkward. But yeah, you're right. It's a little Arabia-esque with the trees and a lot of open ground in the middle. It's a bit of an eyesore, to be honest with you. But hey, ho.
Absolutely.
A lot of relics. A lot of relics.
Oh yeah, relics are in abundance right now. But what isn't in abundance is gold, and there's something to know here.
Yeah, both players have 1 main gold, and then I think they have very small patches of gold spread around, which are going to be hard to get their hands on. So we'll see how that develops as well. It's a challenging map, and I think that's the theme with all of these maps. Are something a little bit different, a little bit unconventional. I like Jordan's castle. It is covering his main gold, which is nice, of course. And let's have a look. MbL's castle is not really... I don't know. It's forward on the berries, but look at this. MbL already walling up here. Such an easy wall for him to make as he goes up to the feudal age. Just want to remind people very quickly, though. This is mirrors for the first series, and the reason why it's mirrored is because it's a best of 1. Until we get to the best of 3s and the best of 5s, that's when we'll start using captain's modes, and we will stop seeing mirror civs. But for the sake of fairness and for integrity, we have to have it mirrored for the first best of 1 games. Otherwise, civ advantages would be really a lame way to get knocked down or out of the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. It's, it's a single elimination mirror makes perfect sense for this. But what's also interesting here is that Jordan actually managed to lay his own ball there by kind of screwing up the ball lord just there. And MbL lost his scout to Jordan's castle.
Oh, and it looks like Jordan may lose his scout. No, so close. 2 health on the scout of Jordan there as he comes into MbL's base. And you're right, the scout of MbL did go down. I'm just trying to find the dead body. Where is it?
It is, if you take a look where Jordan's castle is, it's just on the...
It's camouflaged. I'm telling you, it's camouflaged among all these...
It's with the rest, yeah. To the graveyard. It's gone now.
With the other... he was not special. Got to be careful. I mean, Jordan here scouting with his king, and look at the score difference already. There is 100 points between them, and very, very, very different styles from both players. We've got MbL going up to a fast feudal, building a market blacksmith so that he can go up to the castle age quickly off the back of it. Whereas Jordan isn't even halfway to the feudal age yet. Jordan's with 24 villas versus MbL's 21. And I expect we'll see the fast castle from him too, but it just won't be as fast as MbL's perhaps. He's also seen that MbL's walled up, and he's scouting a lot more with his king as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jordan right now placing down a barracks, meaning that he might actually go for possibly some feudal aggression here, or possibly just maybe going for the fast castle into knights here. It's interesting to see what he's going to come up with. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the game. But really nice walling for MbL at the moment. It's obviously a smart idea, walling towards his TC on that side, and walling off the very far east side where the woodline is, with the house as well. This is such a horrible map.
Yeah.
Like, it's just gold. There's just nothing. This is just nothing available.
So MbL's clicking up to the castle age as Jordan hits the feudal age. He's going for the stable blacksmith, hence the barracks there. And MbL, on the other hand, is just sitting back, chillaxing, and going up castle right now. And, I wonder, organ guns, just don't do it, MbL. Please, no.
But please, MbL, do it. Please, we all want to see the organ guns. Just maybe one or two. Just one or two will do.
Yeah. I think well, at the moment, how much does he have on wood? He's got 5 villages on that side, so 4 down here. He's got 9 on wood right now. I don't know. MbL doesn't seem like he's going to be able to get enough wood to build a TC, so he's maybe considering making some organ guns, or maybe he'll just put down a monastery and start collecting some relics. And I think that's part of the reason why he wants to go fast to the feudal age. Obviously, he lost his scout, though, and that could be a real problem because Jordan does have his scout alive. He's going to get a little bit close for comfort. But keeping that scout alive means he'll see the monasteries coming up. He'll be able to see where the monks are potentially going and maybe even deny them as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe some organ guns will come in there somewhere, because organ guns are classed as a siege unit. They cannot be converted without the redemption tech, so we'll see.
Exactly. Yeah, Portuguese overall is just a really nice serve, especially with the minus 15% reduction you get on gold units. It's really nice for going for knights anyway in early castle. But what's really interesting about the scouts is that Jordan's gonna have more information, A, on MbL's eco, and B, on the relic placements around the map. And relics for this one in particular is going to be very important to get.
Yeah, what's interesting is that his point of view doesn't show him many relics. He can see 1 in the back of his base, and he sees 2 on the other side of the map. Wait, I think he only sees 2 relics right now. Jordan has had all this time to scout.
Yeah, Jordan only sees 2.
He only sees 2 out of a possible 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's not good coverage.
That's a lot of relics.
But there you go.
Oh no! The organ guns! Kill the scout! Oh boy, rest in peace. And the organ guns are here.
Yeah, there you have it.
Man.
Organ guns are pretty fun. I mean, if you start with a castle, why not, right? I mean, they're pretty viable, I think, especially since they can't be converted easily. Jordan will make some knights, though, and I think knights will fare pretty well versus these guys. He's also going to add his second TC. He's also adding the monastery, or even third TC for Jordan here. So I think Jordan's in a pretty solid position. He's not going to neglect his eco, whereas MbL is really kind of like, I don't want to say all in, but he's gone for the monastery. He's going to try and get the relics quickly. He's staying on the 1 TC, and he's pumping organ guns right now. So we'll see how that works out for him.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll see how it works, but the knights are going to come out and possibly mince their way through these organ guns. It is a nice play by MbL, considering the fact that he is down on scouting information. He doesn't know what Jordan's going for, so maybe at least making something that's cheap might be able to get an idea of what Jordan's going for at the moment, and he's probably regretting now making these organ guns as a knight's chasing them down.
Well, if he gets the hill and turns and fight, he could probably bring that knight down, but he's just running away, so he'll lose one. But grouping them together now. There you go. He's baiting them back to the monk, that's why. Gonna get the conversion on the knight. We'll lose the organ gun. Not too much of a problem. MbL gonna try and keep the pressure on. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I'm talking about, like, from a perspective of it just being a standard game, but you got to remember it's not a standard game. It's Regicide. You start with the castle, and that really does change things a lot. That does influence the player's decisions a lot. MbL going to start by making 4 organ guns and taking the map control. That's a reasonable thing to do, I think. And he's now going to grab... well, so far, no relics. But with the map control, he should be able to comfortably grab a few.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, the organ guns is a good play. And considering the fact that he didn't have much scout information, the organ guns managed to actually get a free night there, so to say, with the backing of the mug. 2 TCs, or 3 TCs now for Jordan. I think MbL sitting on 2 TCs right now. Jordan going for that greedy little boom right there. With the castle, though, nicely protecting all 3 TCs. So I don't blame him for going for that play.
Yeah, and actually, even though Jordan did add the 3rd TC and the 2nd TC faster, he is behind by 2 villagers. And that's mostly because MbL went up to the castle age much sooner than him. So he was able to keep his villager production going and... when he got his 2nd TC up, his villager production was going. I think Jordan actually having idle time because he doesn't have the food. Remember, he was forced to make a knight. He's even having to make more knights right now. So he's actually having idle time at these TCs because he doesn't have the food to keep the villager production going. Jordan with 4 knights though should be able to push this back, really. I don't see MbL doing any serious damage here, but it's the damage is kind of being done in a less visible way, and that is by slowing down Jordan's eco. MbL now has 4 extra vills.
Yeah, MbL a little bit ahead here. I've never seen this before. Early castle raiding with organ guns. He's in on the eco. Gotta say, I've never seen this play before, and Jordan's panicking a little bit, I think.
I don't know. I personally don't even think that the organ guns are intended to do huge damage to the eco. I think it's forcing a reaction from Jordan, one way or another. Maybe Jordan was housed for a brief moment, but realistically, the 4 knights are slowing him down more than anything. So yeah, MbL now should lose all this. He's using the scout to take out the monk. Nice engagement for Jordan. He did approach that really nicely. And then he'll clean up the organ guns, clean up the knight, and should have no problem with taking back the map. MbL, in the meantime, I would have expected him to collect more relics by now. How many does he have? He's got 1 in the monastery and 1 on the way home. And now Jordan's going to take the map control back to potentially push out, and there you go. Clean up the rest of the organ guns, Jordan. Sorted.
There we go. Trapped in a corner. Unupgraded knights at the moment. I wonder if Jordan's bringing in any upgrades for those. Not just yet. I don't think he needs to just yet. Maybe he can put the food into his eco until he really has to get those upgrades. But it's quite level at the moment for both players.
Yeah, both players doing wheelbarrow right now, and MbL has a big villager lead due to not having any idle time, and I think this is the thing. It's not about who gets the TCs up first. It's who gets the TCs up and then doesn't idle them first, because Jordan had his TCs up minutes before MbL, but with all the idle time, it really doesn't matter. If MbL gets his TCs up later but doesn't idle them, he's still going to come out ahead, and he has. 10 villager advantage for MbL right now. But Jordan with the army advantage. Can he do anything with these knights? Realistically, I think the answer is probably very little. MbL doesn't really have any exposed villagers. He's playing very defensively with these 3 TCs. Of course, his castle protecting a lot of his eco as well. And yeah, I think Jordan needs to maybe consider a 4th TC even here.
Yeah, I think Jordan's maybe realized that a lot of villages here aren't available to pick off. And yep, there you go. Another TC for Jordan. And both players going for a pretty nice boom here.
Yeah, where's that TC though? He's got the resources for it. I'm wondering where he's going to put it. It's...
Well, back here where I think he might place it on the... Well,
maybe not. He just spent a bunch of his wood on handcart, so maybe he isn't going to do the 4TC after all. It looked like he was going to just go and place it down, but yeah, I don't know. He's still 10 bills behind. That's an unfortunate truth for Jordan. He doesn't know that, but oh, there you go. Wait, has he done it now? He's doing university now. All right, well, Jordan going for a university. He's got the monastery. Is he thinking about just going up to Imp here? Could be a little while. He actually has got a lot of farms. He's just finished off handcart. And MbL's on the way up to Imp already. Not
Yeah,
bad
exactly.
for
I
MbL.
think Jordan's reading what. Yeah, I think Jordan's reading what MbL's doing at the moment. He knows that MbL isn't really pressing on him with any of the military types and unit types, so he's gonna go to. He may as well go up to Imperial at this point.
Yeah. A lot of people in the chat, by the way, just to address this while there's not really a lot of action going on. A lot of people asking why we're not using Warlord Kingdoms and User Patch. We actually intended to use Warlord Kingdoms and User Patch for this tournament. We wanted to do it, but we weren't able to. So that's why Voobly don't allow us to stream using Voobly. So we are forced to use HD, and that's the way it is. So that's why we're on HD right now. Yeah, we're looking at a way of doing this for next time around to get around that, but obviously we don't have enough time to do that this time around. So yeah, anyway, MbL up to the Imperial Age. He's halfway up, and he is ahead by 10 villages still. MbL's in a good position, really. I mean, obviously Jordan has a little bit of map control with the Knights, but it's really not going to count for much when MbL hits Imperial here.
Yeah, exactly. Both players playing really safe as well with their economy. I like the fact that they're both kind of like turtling in to make sure no villagers are, well, out in the open and going to get attacked. But Jordan's actually going to go forward here with a few vills. You see this?
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. That's one benefit of having the map control. But he's going to put down an archery range in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, MbL's already got 2 ranges up. And, you know, we're obviously expecting the Portuguese to transition into gunpowder late game. Obviously, Arquebus giving them the ballistics on their... all of their gunpowder. So they'll go for the hand cannons. They'll go for the bombard cannons. And we'll see that transition coming in just a moment. Chemistry immediately for MbL. Arquebus immediately for MbL. And the ranges and the siege workshops to back up that plan.
There we go. This is going to be an interesting fight. Really interesting that Jordan has taken the very middle of the map. I mean, it is quite an important hill to take here with the attack bonus, but it's so close to MbL here that I'm not entirely sure why he's done this play. Can you explain that?
I think, well, maybe Jordan was hoping to be up to the Imperial Age faster. I think that makes sense. Like you see, is immediately falling back and adding in stables on his north side. I think he was thinking, okay, well, if I'm faster, I've got forward buildings, I can launch my aggression sooner. But really, he misjudged that, I think, and basically MbL will be able to push out and clean this up, and he knows that just by how fast MbL was to the Imperial Age, and that's why he immediately fell back home again. But still, yeah, he's now having to rebuild up here, and he's going into stables and Cavalier now. This is a very interesting choice from Jordan. To go into Cavalier. Now, the Portuguese do get reasonable cavalry. If I'm not mistaken, they get full upgrades apart from Paladin. But
yeah.
But still, against mass gunpowder, Cavalier, I don't think are going to cut the mustard for that.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, especially with ballistics being on the gunpowder units. I don't think Cavalier are going to cut it, in my opinion.
No, I don't think so either, especially since he's slower now. Now, I don't know if he's going to commit that heavily to the Cavalier. I mean, he looks like he might. He is, however, doing chemistry, so he's obviously not going to forget about the old hand cannon. But Arquebus hasn't been researched for Jordan, and if he's planning on going Cavalier, again, that makes sense. So we'll see how this develops. I'm interested to see how this first engagement goes. Obviously, Cavalier are strong against, this sort of early stage of the Imperial Age. But once MbL does get a critical mass of hand cannons, I think he might struggle a little bit there. Now, at the moment, with only 4 hand cannons, well, Cavalier are going to have no problem. But then, obviously, there's the monks as well. So I think MbL is in a fantastic position right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jordan actually had to delete those archer ranges in the middle of the map. Absolute waste of military buildings, in my opinion. And that TC going down as fast as lightning right now. This is crazy. I don't even think Jordan's even ready for this right now.
No, and we've got MbL transitioning into pikes immediately as well. Here he comes, though. The monk's coming in, getting 1 conversion, looking for more. Yeah, there's 2. He might even get 3. And then you've got the hand cannons grouped up at the back. I don't know if Jordan can win this fight. If he does get it, that would be huge. You know what? Looks like he might just get it. He may. Yeah, I think he's got it. Maybe. I don't want to call it too soon.
Maybe. It's, this is... Oh, man.
I don't know. MbL has actually got his hand
mess.
cannons quite split up. And there you go. Jordan actually going to be able to push him back. And that was a really nice adaptation from Jordan there. Recognizing that he was behind.
Really. Definitely. Really nice engagement there from Jordan.
Yeah, that was really good. Like I said, I mean, in the early Imperial Age, the Cavalier are strong. Once MbL gets up to the critical mass of hand cannons, they're going to fall off. But Jordan recognized once MbL was faster to the Imperial Age, like, okay, I need to be able to react to this quickly. And he was able to do just that. But now he's going to come up against a brick wall, and he's not going to be able to push through. But a great fight so far.
Great fight indeed. And Panic pikes right now from MbL. He's making a lot of barracks forward here. Maybe a little bit too forward. A little bit too confident when we're trying to build the rest of those barracks there. They got denied pretty quick. And MbL, a little bit of trouble here. He does have a fair few amount of gunpowder units, but Jordan's got him on the run right now.
For sure. And, well, actually, MbL's now got the pikes, so he's going to be able to push out with those guys. I mean, it's hard to call that fight, because obviously MbL had the monks, and it's hard to know exactly how many Cavalier Jordan has, plus calculating for the fact that he has to reinforce them. So, yeah, I think that Jordan had a great early imp there, able to actually equalize things out, make up for the fact that he was behind in Vils by 10 for so long. But MbL still has the larger army. MbL still has the late game army, let's say. And he's also still getting conversions, which is quite nice.
Yeah, absolutely. But what a mess right now in MbL's eco. He was trying to build 2 TCs and Jordan was coming in with conversions and clear. Not like this, MbL.
And this Cavalier actually going to do quite a bit back here, I think. It's hard to know how many villagers may have died because of the dead bodies that are just scattered around the map already. But this is a good distraction, using these guys to raid and basically buying Jordan time to transition into hand cannons and into bombard cannons, because that's where he wants to go to as well. Like, he doesn't want to make Cavalier long term. It's just a short term plan until he can get himself up to to hand cannons himself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's getting the leather archer armor upgrade now for the hand cannons. It's absolutely buying him a lot of time making these hand cannons, and MbL pressing in on the middle here. Did it buy Jordan enough time to be able to counter this?
Hard to say, and I don't think Jordan's going to want to run at that with Cavalier again now, because there are a lot more hand cannons this time around. He's starting to transition into hand cannons himself, but he is outnumbered. He's got 25 military versus MbL's 52. And granted, MbL does have a lot of pikes, but he also has a lot of hand cannons and a lot of bombard cannons to support it. So Jordan's still not in a perfect position. He does still have the relic advantage. He does have a villager advantage, but he's really lacking in that army count. And MbL is threatening to clean up his military productions and reduce that army count further.
Absolutely. All out gunpowder war right now. Jordan making that siege workshop and making another bombard cannon, keeping his Cavalier a little bit further back so they don't be picked off. But MbL massing these hand cannons right now.
It's the way to go.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Way to go. Now, obviously, Jordan has the hill here, but he's just lost all of his archery, or all but one of his archery ranges. So his hand cannon production is now slowed down. Jordan's now doing arquebus as well, so he's going to be able to start catching up to MbL in tech. But MbL is in a pretty good position here to push up this hill, I feel. But still, I think Jordan's still got something left in him here. He's still got the villager advantage. He still has a defense left in him, but we have to see how MbL approaches this. He's playing kind of cautiously, I think. He's not just rushing up the hill. He's going to put down a castle, fortify his forward position.
Yeah, definitely. Jordan does have some fight left in him. MbL is scouting this right side of the map with some pikes. I think he's looking to do some damage on this right flank too, rather than just pressing it on one spot. And the forward castle right now for MbL on Jordan's eco. Yeah. What is Jordan going to do to respond to this?
He's going to drop his own castle in the wood line at like 36 minutes, 10 seconds. He's pushing out now as well. Cavalier in front leading the charge. But if that castle goes up, this is not going to be a pretty fight for Jordan at all. He's going to try and slow the castle down, but no. he's backing out. He realizes that if he engages there, the castle from MbL would just do too much damage. Just want to clarify, you do not need to research ballistics for Arquebus to take effect. That is a myth. Arquebus will give you ballistics on your hand cannons and bombard cannons once it's researched. You still need ballistics for things like, your archers and stuff, but you don't need it for the Arquebus to work on hand cannons. But look at the bombards from MbL. He's tearing down that castle from Jordan so quickly.
This is not pretty for Jordan at all at the moment. At all. It is the massed hand cannons that is giving him a problem right here. The Cavalier, though, coming in right now for the last fight. Oh, no, they're going back. Okay.
Yeah. He seems a little bit unsure. He's like, I want to get the best fight possible. I don't want to take any risks. Currently waiting for +4 defense to come in before going forward. I think that's a wise decision. But yeah, Jordan's going to lose the castle on the wood line. His villagers are going to be displaced. And MbL's coming around the right side with some pikes just to see what he can see. That's nothing else that they can do at this stage of the game. So why not? Going to be getting in there, maybe doing some damage to these villagers.
MbL actually being denied of his forward castle here. Nice work by Jordan. And keeping these Cavalier back, make sure he doesn't lose them. He's actually putting a siege workshop back in this very north side. He's actually going to drop another archer range for more hand cannons.
Honestly, at this point in the game, like these bombard cannons for MbL are winning in the game at the moment. But here you go, the fight coming in now. Jordan gets +4 defense. He runs down the hill, tries to take the fight, immediately runs back again. Those Cavalier aren't achieving anything now. It's too late in the game. And, well, I mean, maybe they can tank a little bit. But ultimately, I think MbL just has too many hand cannons. And these bombard cannons are really winning it for him. He took down all the trebs. No problem.
Absolutely. Do you think it was a little bit of a mistake for Jordan to mass Cavalier?
Maybe. I think early Imp absolutely makes sense. Like, that was a great decision. But committing to it long term, I think that's maybe questionable. I mean, look at this. They're going to run down the hill, and they can't even get to the hand cannons before they just get shot down. And really, they're just cannon fodder at this stage of the game. MbL coming forward with Vills, and I think he's going to close this one out. I'm feeling like MbL is going to get this momentum now. He's got over double the army count. And really, he can just slowly grind his way through Jordan's base. Jordan, really nothing to stop MbL realistically.
Exactly. Oh, and I think we actually might see a king snipe this game.
Maybe if the king pops out and MbL clicks it, well, hello, we have ballistics. So, king's out. Just standing there. Just standing there. MbL's not gonna... Is he gonna... Where's he going? No!
Run!
What? No, don't run to the enemy! Maybe he... Okay, this has got to be Jordan just committing suicide here. This is Jordan saying, I'm beat. You can have my king. GG.
Oh
my
honorable
God.
death for an honorable king. And there we go. There is the end.
That situation for Jordan is kind of like when you have a nightmare and... You know that you can't stop yourself running into this monster. You know that the monster's there. You want to run away, but because you're having a nightmare and you're dreaming, you're just running towards it. That's what the king was doing right there. So Jordan GGing out, I guess. I want to say he GG'd out because I assume that the king was intentionally killed. But yeah, MbL, quite a strong showing from him. And he maintained an edge pretty much through the whole game. I think the only time when Jordan had a chance to really, well, where he equalized, let's say, was when he made the Cavalier in the early Imperial age. But maybe his commitment to this Cavalier was his downfall in that game.
Absolutely, yeah. That's why I asked with the Cavalier, was it really that good of a choice to go with them? I think maybe if Jordan had thought about what he was going to do following Imperial, I think that would have given him the advantage, especially with the fact that he made those archer ranges in the middle of the map that immediately got denied by MbL. If he maybe made those a little bit further back, if he played a little bit more defensively, it may have stopped MbL being able to push that far forward.
I don't think Jordan thought that MbL would be faster to Imp. I think he was confident that he would get Imp and he would have the ranges forward and he'd just use it to apply pressure from there. I think maybe he was surprised to see MbL being 2 minutes faster to the Imperial age than him. And that really, he immediately made the stables. He immediately went to the Cavalier, which was a good reaction. But after that, maybe a little questionable. But there you go. MbL going to get the win. And
Yeah, so let's take a look at the achievements.
Yeah, I was already kind of browsing through them, but we'll do that as well. Also, military stats. It was fairly close, really. But ultimately, that largest army for MbL in the end, he had so many more units. He just, he's an unstoppable force at that point. Economy-wise, Jordan did have a little bit of extra gold. But on the food and the wood front, well, the food was fairly close. The wood was way in favor of MbL there. Obviously, great for the bombard cannons, which he was very reliant on.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Jordan took advantage of took much advantage of having the upper hand with the scout initially. I know it wasn't huge, but having that scout alive for the rest of the Dark Age and Feudal might have been able to help him a little bit more, but I don't think it was that important. Nice uptimes though for MbL.
Yeah, across the board, just 2 minutes faster on Feudal, a minute faster on Castle, 2 minutes faster on Imperial. That's just nice for MbL at this level, and he gets his win. We'll take a quick look at the brackets right here. Let me just tab through and get to OBS so I can change it. So we can see after the first stage of round 1, the upper bracket of round 1, we have Doubt versus Tato in round 2, Viper versus MbL in round 2, and then the continuation of round 1 will be ACCM versus Backed and Cloud versus Jordan 23 in the lower bracket. All 4 of those players, ACCM, Backed, Cloud, and Jordan, face elimination in that next best of 1, and that's what's going to be coming up next. ACCM versus Backed will be our next match, and oops, that's the wrong thing. There you go. That's going to be on Socotra, one of the trolliest maps I've ever seen. God damn, that's going to be fun. Who put that one in the map pool?
I wonder.
I don't know. It wasn't me. Robo, was that you? Did you do this? All right, Han. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. I've enjoyed it. It's been good fun. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Anything you want to say before we head off? I think we